Here with Shane Bailey, the coach of the Eastern Suburbs Football Club, or the East Geelong Football Club, I should say. Bales has gone back to the future.
Yes, mate.
So, I'm just interested to know, we're here at the Neville Whitley Medal count tonight. How did you sum up your season, mate?
Yeah, look, we had 6 wins, Mitch, and I reckon that's probably realistically where we're at. It would have been nice to get 7 or 8,
yeah.
And I think we probably could have. Had a few injuries late in the year, and we didn't finish off probably as well as I'd have liked.
Yep.
But that's footy. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, mate. What do you need for next year? Well, obviously you'd look to improve and want to make a finals, play one of the finals next year. How do you think you got to do that?
Yeah, of course, mate. Look, I think we need a couple of obviously with Ricky probably retiring and that, we need a couple of guys to maybe around that 28 year of age group. Maybe another on-baller and a key forward, and I think and then it's just developing them kids, keeping them, that group of 20-year-olds that we got, and we're probably, whether we make finals or not next year, I think we just keep developing them kids, get a good bunch of them, a couple of 28-year-old fellas into the side, and I think that'll help us a lot.
You got anyone in mind, mate?
Sorry? Oh, that's a secret, Mitch. I can't tell you that, buddy.
Fair enough. Look, I'm really interested in the 2 games on the weekend. You've got Bannockburn and Inverleigh, who have been the top 2 sides all year. Who do you think will win that and why? Yeah,
look, after last Saturday, or before last Saturday, I would have definitely said Bannockburn. But, watching Inverleigh, the way they played and they moved the ball and they ran and really put pressure on the opposition on Belpost Hill, I still think Bannock, but I don't think it'll be as easy as I thought it might have been initially, yeah.
Okay. On Sunday, you've got Thompson and Belpost Hill, and being a close neighbour to Thompson, mate, Who do you think will win that?
Yeah, once again, mate, I would have said Belpost Hill. Having that loss, though, I reckon, and the way you guys played, obviously, yesterday, anything can happen, and if there's ever a chance that you're going to knock them off, it's next week. So be very, very close, I think. Be a lot closer than I initially thought.
Okay, mate. Now, just one last one from me. Who do you think will win the flag?
I'll still stick with Bannockburn, I think, mate. Yeah. Their defence is really good, and they run the ball so well out of there, and obviously with Milburn setting things up, I still stick with them, mate.
No worries. So you've picked Bannockburn to win the flag, which is great. Good luck for next year, Shane, and I hope the continued improvement, because I believe you've done a great job. Appointed late, but really put your shoulder to the wheel, and you've done a fantastic job. And if they're half smart, mate, they'll sign you again now. So good luck for next year.
Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate it, mate.
Ta.
And welcome back. Well, the action's on again tomorrow at the St Albans Reserve, the Gordon TAFE Oval. We've got the big game between the Inverleigh Hawks and the Bannockburn Tigers. Mitch, I'll go to you first. A big game. Inverleigh, obviously a little bit disappointed to get knocked off by Belpost Hill. Bannockburn had the week's rest. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, Inverleigh, Belpost still actually beat Inverleigh on Saturday, Nick, and I think they were pretty happy about that. So that gives them a chance to play Bannockburn, who they've beaten twice this year, to be quite truthful. They beat them by a point, I think, and 3 points, I think. So the game's been pretty tight. They actually fought out for top spot on the ladder all year. So it'll be a ripping game on Saturday. We all know we're here on Monday night at the Whitley Medal, but Saturday, not playing Tuesday, Dick, they're playing Saturday. So that's a good thing.
We are totally confused. I just wanted to make sure Grubby was on the ball then.
Yeah, no.
Because I know exactly who won last weekend.
Yeah, that's good. But
especially Sunday.
I'm picking Inverleigh.
All right, Inverleigh.
I just think Inverleigh might have enough gas in the tank to get over Bannockburn and go straight into the grand final.
The Mighty Hawks. Righto, Grubby. I won't make any more mistakes, mate. I just like to keep you on your toes.
Well, mate, obviously you didn't know who won last week, but I bet you know who lost yesterday. Big game. Very, very hard to pick. I reckon it depends a lot on the weather.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I really think if it's a nice, still, beautiful day, Bannockburn in the air are very, very hard to beat. A little bit windy. Inverleigh love that because they run the ball well. I'm going to bank on a nice day, and I'm going to go for Bannockburn. I just reckon the rest will give him a really good leading up to the game, and I reckon their aerial skills might be just a little bit too much for the Hawks.
Just a quick one, Dick. And Grubby, how do you think it's supposed to rain all week down here? How do you think the ground didn't hold up all that good? I didn't think Saturday it was a bit slippery, and Sunday. How do you think Bannockburn will go in the wet? if it's wet?
I think if it's wet, I would change me tip and I would go for Inverleigh 3 or 4 goals. But I did walk out on the ground myself a couple of times on Sunday. Yeah. I didn't think it was too bad.
Right.
So, but if you get a whole week of rain, there's that mud patch. All that changes everything. I would change me tip then to Inverleigh for sure.
It's going to be a ripping game though, isn't it? Really, it's a toss of the coin. Toss of the coin, this one.
Well, we've got another big game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And, yes, Thompson did a pretty good job last week against the Magpies. But that's another game, and another game starts on Sunday. And you guys, or the Tommy Tigers, are up against the side that's basically dominated the competition over the last 5 or 6, 7 years, including finals, in grand finals. And Belpo's still into a bit of form at the moment. And goodness knows what they might do. And you guys, I've got to say it, you were absolutely sensational last Sunday.
Yeah, they certainly were great on Sunday. There's no doubt about that. And both games they've played against Belpost Hill, they've led by some 40-odd points. Look, they know, the Thompson side knows that the brand of footy they play puts Belpost Hill under pressure. The key is doing it for the whole game, not just half. Brent Taylor, whether he plays or not, is going to be interesting. If Thompson lose Brent Taylor, that'll put a little bit of pressure on. Also, Sean O'Neill might be back. So Thompson's, we were talking about it before, Thompson's a very even team with an absolute superstar in Brent McLeod, who's probably the best, well, he's the best player in the competition by a long way. So it'll be an interesting game. I'm obviously going to pick Belpost Hill, but I think it'll be tight, but they're going to have to play for the whole 4 quarters, not just 3. Their form on Saturday was great, although they didn't have a great deal of opposition, but I'm going to pick Thompson in a very, very tight, so I didn't pick Belpost Hill, I picked Thompson. Did I pick Belpost Hill? Well, I hope lightning strikes me dead. I'm going to pick Thompson. Well, I made a mistake, a faux pas. I'm picking Thompson.
Well, Alex Gagani has just joined us, and Alex doing a great job of emceeing the Whitley medal tonight, and it's been a great result too, Alex. But who do you reckon is going to win, mate, out of the Belpost Hill game and the Thompson game? Bearing in mind last week, the McLeod brothers were either out the front or out the back. They were having a bit of a gastro problem.
Well, that's a very descriptive way of putting it. Thompson hasn't defeated Belpost Hill in about 4 years, so now's their chance. And Brent Taylor, he said post-match last week, this is the one that matters most. Unfortunately, when Belpost Hill has 6 Team of the Year members, they've gone for 6 premierships in the space of 7 years. You just can't tip against them. So no disrespect to the Thompson community.
You're definitely disrespecting the Thompson community.
Such a fantastic season.
Definitely disrespecting them.
But
you haven't rated us all year, Alex.
I've tipped them more than you in the record.
Come on, you've been into them all year. I've never tipped against them.
No, that's correct. That is actually correct.
Grubby, they've been talking absolute rubbish, mate. But we know one thing, that Belpost Hill love this time of the year and they do nothing wrong. Are they going to continue with that form on Sunday?
Well, I don't know about the form. I honestly believe that's the worst game I've seen Belpost Hill play in 10 years that I've seen them. They were very, very poor, but the big part about it is they come home like a train and almost could have won the game. I really loved Inverleigh. They had to use some character. They got the class, but they had to use a bit of character, and they found it, and they hung on and won. The big game, I tell you what, I'm not quite sure. If Thompson get ahead like they did in the 2 games, Belpost Hill won't catch them, and the Panthers will be out in straight sets. I'm going to go for Belpost Hill in extra time after a draw. That's how close this could be.
God, Mitchell will have to call his paramedic.
The old folks home would be after me then. They'd wheel me back.
Well, I've got to do it. If it gets that close, only Mitch and his dry cleaners.
Dry cleaner. Well, I'm glad you don't look fat, bald and ugly tonight.
Hey, I've got to also mention too that Grubby raised a lot of money up at Werribee last weekend for a bloke that was in a bit of strife, and I know he contributed and made sure they raised $10,000, and you shaved your hair off, mate, and I've got to say,
You look better.
You do actually look better.
Well, I tell you what, when you're fat, bald and ugly, it doesn't really matter what sort of hair you got, does it really? It's not going to help me much these days.
We can all tell.
Well, for sure, we've got 2 great games coming up over the weekend, and you can catch both of them on 94.7 The Pulse from, I reckon, 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturday after #GiddyUp. And we kickstart on 2 o'clock on Sunday or 1:30?
It'll be Sunday at 2 o'clock, and for God's sake, mate, don't turn up looking like a Lithuanian penguin.
Hey, wait, and I want to ask this. What's all this stuff on Facebook in Lithuanian, Berrigan, for the Lithuanian basketball team? I thought you were an Aussie. What's going on there?
I don't know. To the Aussies' credit, that was the greatest basketball result. 1 point off, robbed by the refs. But Lithuania, they're a basketball nuts. Enough about the basketball. It's all about footy, Mitch. And I can't believe there's only 4 games left this season, gentlemen. 4 games.
Well, whatever happens this weekend, we look forward to next weekend, preliminary final day.
Yep.
But we've got to get over these 2 next days indeed. It's been a great night out here at the Buckley's Entertainment Centre, and a great night indeed for the Neville Whitley medal, and a very deserved winner as well. We'll go out with a Mick Larkin snapshot. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. A magnificent snapshot.
Might be able to take a photo of the Whitley medalist.
Well, you never know too.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
But we'll catch you all again next Friday night when we return with the GDFL Footy Show. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
We come together, the best from all the league, to show them how to play and form a mighty team.